Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Ahmad Faizuddin bin Harun, Hadi Metro number 263061, and the title of my presentation is the impact of transport infrastructure on the tourism destination attractiveness. Okay, for the next slide, I will present about Morocco background. Morocco is the North American country bordering the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea, which is distinguished by its Berber, Arabians, and European culture influences. Moreover, this country rich with various culture which are blend of Arab, Berber, indigenous African, and European. Okay. Morocco is ranked number 5 according to World Economic Forum in 2017 in terms of their government prioritization of development of travel and tourism industry. Next slide is why choose Morocco. Morocco is a stable tourist destination and there was some to extent affected by the Arab Spring Revolution according to Said et al. In 2013 and not the late terrorist attack facing the rest of the world. The next point is tourism in Morocco is largely focused in two locations which are Marrakesh and Agadir, which equal more than half of international overnight stays. Indeed, with more than 2.6 million tourist arrivals recorded between January and December 2018, according to Moroccan National Tourist Office. For the next slide, let's move on to the tourism infrastructure. Tourism infrastructure is considered as physical element that is designed and erected to cater the visitors. The apparent relationship between tourism development and infrastructure has been theoretically confirmed by several researchers. For instance, Colleague 2017 explicitly stated that tourism infrastructure is considered the basis of tourism development as well as a base for utilization of destination resources. Furthermore, tourism infrastructure includes complementary such as facilities, equipment, and necessary resources for the functioning of every tourism destination. Transport infrastructure more involves like roads, railways, airports, along with others, which make a tourist destination accessible for all the tourists. Likewise, Popescu et al. In 2013, through their study of the competitiveness of Serbia as tourist destination, stated that the primary goal of tourism infrastructure is meeting the requirement of tourists in form of hotels, restaurants, sport facilities, among others. Also, Locke et al. In 2013 found that implementing and developing transport infrastructure highly contribute to the increasing complexity of the tourism phenomenon. So much so that is affect the increase in functional complexity and theoretically destination, and last but not least is about the competitiveness. So for the next slide, according to this case study, let's see how the transport infrastructure impact on tourism attractiveness. The impact are overnight stays, increase of airport and highways passenger traffic. So let's move on to the main finding of this case study. The main finding during past 18 years, the amount of overnight stay in Marrakesh has been doubled, going from 3,150,000 to more than 8 million as of August 2019. However, this evolution required the mobilization of a whole of development events at the level of infrastructure and mainly those of transport. Indeed, the analysis of data in the table explicitly demonstrate the impact of development of transport infrastructure on the evolution of tourist attractiveness in Marrakesh, where after each aerial or terrestrial infrastructure development, the number of passenger traffic increase and the number of overnight stay follows the trend. For example, during 2004 and 2005, Marrakesh witnessed the readjustment of Terminal T1 and T2 in the Menara Airport in terms of floor space, check-in counters, baggage, and delivery maps, which impact the air traffic positively with growth of 42.38% in 2006, and therefore the overnight stay with an increase of 35.83%. In conclusion, the more transport infrastructure is developed, the more it can handle the traffic. So let's move on to the example of tourism transportation infrastructure in Malaysia. The example of tourism transportation infrastructure in Malaysia is Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Bridge. This transportation infrastructure is known as Penang Second Bridge. This bridge opened in 2014 after a 6-year construction period, and the cost of this bridge is 4.5 billion ringgit Malaysia. This bridge is measuring 24 km in terms of length, and it connects Batu Maun on Penang Island to Batu Kawan on the mainland. This bridge also not only it is Southeast Asia longest bridge, it's also an award-winning example of bridge building. Then this bridge also is reducing traffic congestion by 25%. Other than that, the second bridge to Penang has brought economic development to the newly linked area of the region industrial powerhouse. Penang Second Bridge has not only reduced congestion on the first bridge, but has also triggered development in Batu Kawan and mainland Penang southern part. For the next slide, how Malaysia can learn from Morocco transportation infrastructure. As far as policy implications are concerned, the Malaysia government should integrate transport policy even more into tourism planning, especially for a country with non-competitive infrastructure compared to neighboring competitors. Investing in tourism infrastructure, marketing efforts, and liberalizing air access might not be enough without and necessary efficient transport support infrastructure. Ad hoc government spending cuts and neglect infrastructure needs in limited public finance should be considered all over again. Local policymakers should have an explicit focus on strategic long-term planning and requirements. They should develop an integrated and efficient and affordable transport system that is sustainable in terms of, first is social, second is economic, and the last but not least is environmental point of view. Nevertheless, the actual projects and work in progress seem optimistic and are likely to develop the tourist attractiveness capacity of the country. So in conclusion, a better transport infrastructure will result in lower transportation costs and thus lower variable cost of trading and shorten the distance between origin and destination countries, which can stimulate international tourism flows. In addition, infrastructure boosts tourism development by raising attractiveness and competitiveness of a destination. Tourists usually expect facilities in their chosen destination to be comparable to what they enjoy at home. Therefore, a good infrastructure in a destination puts demand for its product.